I told that there is an issue with the procedure. It is okay for small systems, but if you want to create and maintain the large complex systems in procedure-oriented model or procedure-oriented programming model, so it's difficult. It is too difficult because in procedure-oriented model, data will be at one place and the logic operating on the data will be at another place. Both we cannot keep it single place. Both we cannot keep it single place. For example, you take main C program. Okay. Main function contains data and below the main we write many functions and those functions contains logics. But we cannot keep this logic and the data at one place. That is not possible in procedure-oriented model. Okay. Or procedure-oriented programming model. And that is why object-oriented programming is introduced. So what we can do with the OOP model? We can build a well-structured, modular. I can add the word modular. Okay, modular, scalable, and maintainable applications for the real time. Now, today what we have to discuss is what are the principles of object-oriented programming. They are called OOP principles. So let us understand about what is abstraction, what is encapsulation. Next, we'll discuss about what is inheritance and what is polymorphism. These four are called as principles of object-oriented programming. And why we should follow these principles? To build applications like well-structured, modular, scalable, and maintainable applications. If you want to build applications with modularity, with well-structure, with scalable, and maintainable applications, if you want to develop applications like this, then we need to follow the principles of object-oriented programming. Okay. And whatever the object-oriented programming languages are there, like Java, like .NET, like C++, all these programming languages will provide a way to implement these principles. If they don't provide a way to implement these principles, if that programming language doesn't have any or doesn't provide a way for the developers to implement these principles, then that programming language is not called object-oriented programming language. We cannot say that C language is object-oriented programming language. Why? Because C language doesn't provide, the language doesn't provide a way for implementing abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism. It doesn't provide a way to implement these principles. That is the reason why we are calling it as a procedure-oriented programming, but not as a object-oriented programming language. Okay, folks? So online folks, please try to understand the point what I'm saying here. Am I clear with this, guys? Guys in online,
Yes, sir.
did you understood the
Yes.
point? Yes? Okay. Cool, guys. Okay, no problem. Now let us discuss more on this. What I'm trying to say now, the principles of object-oriented programming are guys. The principles of object-oriented programming are, what are the principles of object-oriented programming? One is abstraction. Okay. Second one is encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism. These are called principles of object-oriented programming. Okay. Okay. Now, If a language provides a way to implement, if a language provides a way to implement these principles, if a language provides a way to implement these principles, then it is called object-oriented programming language. It is called object-oriented programming language. Folks, if a language provides a way to implement these principles, then it is called object-oriented programming language. It is called object-oriented programming language. Okay. Now, let's understand what is abstraction, what is encapsulation, what is inheritance, and what is polymorphism. Let us understand about what is abstraction. I'll tell you. I'll tell you with examples and all. I'll tell you what is abstraction with example. Okay. Folks in online, am I clearly audible to you? Could you able to
Yes, sir.
listen to me clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thanks. Thanks. Now we are understanding about what is abstraction. Okay. I'll tell you what is the meaning of abstraction. So to understand what is abstraction, let us consider an example. For example, we'll discuss. First, we'll discuss an example, and with the example, we will derive what is the meaning of abstraction. Okay, we'll derive what is the meaning of abstraction. Okay, right. See, for example, you take a bank. If you take a banking system, uh, in bank, see, when you take a banking system, okay, in bank we can find manager. Okay, for example, this guy is a manager. For example, this guy is a manager in bank. And for example, this guy is accountant. And for example, this guy is a clerk. He is accountant. And this guy is a clerk. Okay. Now we say that all these three are employees of the same bank only. Manager, accountant, clerk, all are working in the same bank. They are employees of the same bank. Am I right? But the
Yes, sir.
yeah, cool, good. But if you observe, manager can log into the banking system.
Yes.
Manager can log into the banking system. So they have their own website or portal. Into their portal, they will log in. Manager will log in. Similarly, accountant also will log in. Similarly, clerk also will log in. Because all their employees of the bank, they have a what I can say, they have some kind of HRMS portal. Once they have logged in into the banking system, will all the options what are visible to the manager are also visible to the clerk?
No.
Will all the options available for manager will also be visible to the clerk?
No.
No. No. Did you get my point? Whatever are essential for the clerk, only those options are visible to the clerk because he is logged in as a clerk. See, clerk cannot sanction a loan. Am I right? So tell me, is there any option available for clerk once he log in? Will clerk get any option like sanction a loan? No. But can a manager of a bank sanction a loan?
Yes.
Yes, he can. Means that option is visible to whom? Manager,
Manager.
but not visible to the clerk. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Similarly, accountant also will log in, right? Whatever options are visible to the accountant, those options are not same for clerk. Accountant has options to know how much money today the bank has got deposited into the bank accounts and how much money is withdrawn from the accounts. Who can see? Accountant can see. But what about clerk? No, clerk don't know about how much money is inflow and how much amount is outflown from the bank. But who knows about that?
Accountant.
Accountant. Accountant can able to see in this week, in the last week of bank transactions, how much profit or how much loss that the bank has got, that profit and loss. Who can able to see? Accountant. But who cannot able to see? Clerk.
Clerk.
Am I clear with all these things?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can accountant sanction a loan?
No.
No. Means what? Accountant can't see the loan applications and accountant doesn't have any option right to sanction the loan. But who can do that?
Manager.
Manager. So basically, with this example, what I am trying to say is, okay, with this example, what I am trying to say is that these are the different users of the system.
Yes.
Clerk is one user of the system. System means that portal, banking portal. Clerks are users of the banking portal. Accountant is also a user of the banking portal. Manager is also what? He is also the user of the banking portal. This a clerk, this accountant, this manager, what are all these? These are all the users of the banking system or banking application, that banking website otherwise. Okay. But based on the user of the system, only the required details are shown to that user and unnecessary, not required details are hidden from the user. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Everybody? Tell me, in every project, in every software application, this feature must be implemented.
Yes.
If this feature is not implemented, then what happens?
All the users can view all the options.
All the users of the system can able to see all the information of the organization.
Yes.
Or organization or the business, whatever we can say. Am I right with you? Are you getting the
Yes,
point
sir.
right? Yeah. For example, you take Ashok IT portal. You can log in because you got Ashok IT has provided you username and a password. With a username and password, you can able to log into Ashok IT portal
Yes.
and you can able to see the what are all the courses. But can you add a new course?
No.
Do you have any option to add a new course to the existing Ashok IT portal?
No.
Can you announce a new batch details? No. What
No.
you can see? Only
Whatever
the existing courses, whatever the existing courses and their details you can able to see, but you can't add the new course. At the same time, you cannot delete a course also. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Suppose I am also logged in into Ashok IT portal. I have an account, username and password. But what can I do? I
Upload.
can able to add the new course details. I can delete. I can announce a new batch details. I can add a new video. I can upload a new video, or I can delete the notes. Did you get my point clearly?
Yes, sir.
Guys, what does it mean now? You are also user to Ashok IT portal. I am also user to Ashok IT portal. We both are users of the same system. But based on the system, based on the user of the system, because you are logged in as a student role, I am logged in as an admin role. Did you get my point or not? Okay,
Yes, sir.
based on the user of the system, some details are shown, some details are hidden. Am I clear? This is called
Yes,
what?
sir.
Abstraction.
Abstraction.
So what is abstraction?
Hiding the
Abstraction,
information.
yeah. Abstraction is a way of showing only necessary details by hiding unnecessary details from the user of the system. Able to get my point? This concept is
Yes,
called
sir.
abstraction. This abstraction to be implemented in one project or almost in every project?
Almost
In
all
every
projects.
in every project, abstraction is a feature to be implemented. Did you get
Yes.
my point?
Yes.
Then tell me the programming language which you are using to develop the software, that language also should provide a way to implement this feature.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
only that programming language is called what? Then only that programming language is called what? Object-oriented programming language. Am I clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Am I clear with this, guys? This is called what? I'm only talking about features today. Later on, how to implement through Java, we will discuss later. But I'm talking
Okay.
about features one by one. Am I clear with this? Could you tell me
Yes,
what is
sir.
abstraction? Let's write the point here. Could you tell me what is abstraction? Abstraction is a way to, okay, is a way to, yeah, to show only the necessary or required details. Am I right?
Yes.
By hiding
Unnecessary.
unrequired details or unnecessary details, anything. Unrequired
Okay.
details based
From the
on the
user.
user of a system. This is called definition of what? Abstraction.
Abstraction.
Sorry. So abstraction is a way to show only the required details by hiding unrequired details based on the user of a system. This is what called as abstraction. Okay, right. Just we are writing, for example, okay, for example, in a banking system, the users are managers, accountants, and clerks. For example, we are writing in a banking system, the users are managers, accountants, and clerks. Or you can say manager, accountant, and clerk. Only one single we can also take. Manager, accountant, and clerk. Manager, accountant, and clerk. Right. The clerk cannot see the options what a manager can see, what a manager or accountant can see. Okay. Similarly, the accountant cannot see the options what a manager can see. This is called abstraction. I'm just giving, for example, like this multiple general examples also. For example, see, uh, okay, let's take example. See, you're downloading a file, or for example, you're downloading a movie from internet. You are downloading a movie from internet, a file you are downloading from internet. So what happens at the time of downloading? Whatever the file that you are downloading, how much size is there for the file? Currently at what rate, at how much speed the file is getting downloaded. Only this information is shown to us whenever you're downloading the file. Am I right? When you're downloading the file, the size of the file, file name, size of the file, and how much speed, at what speed the file is getting downloaded. These informations are what? These informations are visible to us. Okay. But we don't know about internally how the bytes are getting transferred from the server system to your client system. That is called what details? Internal details. Tell me that internal details, the other details which are not required for me, they are shown to me or not shown to me?
Not shown.
Not shown. Only what is shown? Only the required details. What is required details for me when I'm downloading a file?
What is the speed?
What is the file
speed
you're downloading? What is the size of that file? Currently at what speed the file is getting downloaded? How much time remaining to download? Okay, for example, you're downloading for a 2 GB file, a very large file you're downloading. It is saying that what it'll take 10 minutes to go. 10 minutes, 9 minutes, 8 minutes, like that you are getting. How many minutes of time is required to download the file? The time required. Only this information is on. This is called what? Abstraction. Abstraction. Am I right? There are many examples. For example, you are getting a phone call. When you are getting a phone call to your mobile, what is shown? You are getting the number or the person name who is calling you. Am I right or not? Getting my point? But are you getting any internal details? You're not getting any internal details. You're not getting the details like from which tower it is connected first. Then from then to which tower it is connected. Then from which tower your mobile is connected. Are you getting my point? Are you getting any towers information?
No.
Towers information is not required. It is not required for me. Am I clear? Everybody is getting? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
For example, somebody got a threat call. It is a threat call. Somebody has called him or called that person and given a threat. He is giving a police complaint. Okay. Then police people are going to approach the provider, service provider, but they have all these details. Okay. From this number, from this tower, from this location, at this particular time, this call was came and is connected to this tower, then this tower. They will trace out all the details. Finally, they will catch that culprit. Am I right or not? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
Means what is the point here? What is shown to us? Essential data, required data, essential information. And what is not shown to us? Unessential information. That is unnecessary
Unnecessary
for
data.
me. Unnecessary data for me. Unessential data for me. It's not essential data. This is called what? A general example for abstraction. Did you get my point, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
very good. Very good. Very good. These are all simple examples to understand about what is abstraction. How to implement and all in through Java programming, that we'll discuss in programming. But we are understanding about what are the features here, okay? Abstraction, encapsulation,
Yeah.
inheritance, and polymorphism. These are the four the principles of object-oriented programming. Am I clear? Next.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Next, we'll discuss about what is encapsulation. We'll discuss about what is encapsulation. Okay. Guys, try to understand. I will explain about what is encapsulation. You got the meaning of what is abstraction. Now I'm talking about what is encapsulation. What is encapsulation? Yeah. Look at the point again, guys. First of all, actually, encapsulation word actually came from a word called as capsule. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Encapsulation is a word actually came from a capsule. We have
Capsule.
tablets and capsules now.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Capsule is different from a tablet.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, right? Please try to understand me now. Am I clear with this? Okay. Suppose if you open the capsule we can open. Two capsules will be there. We can open the capsule. Inside the capsule, you will find out some kind of small granules
Yes.
and some powder.
Yes, sir.
Am I right or not? Very good.
Right.
Yes.
I'll tell you now. You feel that powder is the data or that granules is the data, anything. That powder is a functionality. Okay. Both these are mixed together, combined together into one capsule. Both are kept inside. Both are kept inside the capsule. They tied together as a unit. Am I clear with this? Okay. My question, suppose I open the capsule. I have opened the capsule. I'll first take only granules into my mouth. Okay. Granules into my mouth. And after some time, I will take the powder. I'll consume powder. Will the tablet works for me? For my disease? No. 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 Did you get my concept now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It doesn't work. I have to take them as a single unit into my mouth. Am I right or not? Then only that capsule will work for my disease. Am I right? For somebody disease, I mean. Am I clear with this now? So encapsulation word came from, encapsulation is a word came from what? Capsule. Capsule. Encapsulation is a word came from what? Capsule. Okay. Very good. I'll tell you what is encapsulation. See, encapsulation is a way of combining or binding, any word I can use, binding the data and related functionality, okay, into one unit. What and what I'm binding? I'm binding data related functionality together into a single unit. Into a single unit. And why also I'll explain. I'll tell you why. Why we are doing like that? To disallow outside people or other people, any word I can say. To disallow direct accessing of the data from outside people or direct modifying of the data from outside people. First of all, this we are binding together as one unit now. That unit is called one class. That unit is called one class. One class. One class is nothing but what? One encapsulation unit. Understand this point clearly. One encapsulation unit is called one class. What and what we are binding together? Data and the related functionality together into a single unit. That unit is called a class. A class. And why we are binding together into one unit? To disallow the outside people, okay, from directly modifying the data. Okay. So let us take an example of understanding about encapsulation. Suppose, see guys, let's take programmatic example. I have account number. See, I have account number. Data is account number. I have account number. I have a, suppose let us say balance. Understand this point clearly. And other details are there. I'm writing only account number and balance. I have account holder name, whether this account is active or not, whether it is a savings account or current account. So many things will be there. But I'm talking about only simple account number and balance. I have two variables, nothing but two informations. And What the functionality that I want to perform on this account is, I can deposit the money, I can withdraw the money. Functionality means methods. Data means variables. So what is encapsulation? Combine the variables and the related methods operating on the variables together into a single unit. That single unit is called what? The single unit is called what? Class. This is called class. Just observe it. This is one unit. This unit is called what? One class. Okay. Why we are making them as one unit? We are making them as one unit. Okay. To hide this data from directly modifying from outside of the class. Which means what? Nobody from outside cannot change the balance directly. Nobody can change the balance directly from outside. It is not accessible to them. They can't see balance. We are hiding them. Okay, we are hiding them. Means what? These are not visible to outside. Okay. When the balance is modified, whenever somebody will deposit the money or whenever somebody withdraw the money, automatically what happens? Balance is updated, changed. But from outside, this balance is not visible. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Now you tell me this unit is called what?
Class.
Encapsulation. Okay, it's a class. It is called encapsulate. It is called encapsulated unit. It is called encapsulated unit. So what is encapsulation? Encapsulation is nothing but
Binding of data and related
binding of the data and related functionality together into a single unit, and also hiding direct accessing of the data from outside of the class. Okay, hiding the data from direct accessing from the outside of the class. This is called encapsulation. This is called encapsulation. Okay, are you getting my point? This is called encapsulation. Okay, then tell me, how do we implement encapsulation? Every programming language will provide a way to implement this encapsulation principle also, na? So how do we implement encapsulation? First, we should create a class. Inside the class, we should create these data members as private. These variables as what? Private. Private. Are you getting my point, guys? How do we implement encapsulation? By creating the variables inside classes private. Okay. And also by defining public setter and getter methods. You'll understand what is setter, getter later, but just I'm talking about the concept here. Folks, now am I clear with the point of what is encapsulation? First of all, tell me what is encapsulation. Let us write the point here, guys. What is encapsulation? Could you tell me so that I will write?
Binding data and related functionality into a single unit.
Yes. Yeah. So first of all, tell me encapsulation. Encapsulation word is derived from
word capsule.
Another word capsule. Another word capsule. Okay. Now, right. Tell me what is encapsulation. Encapsulation.
The process of binding data
is a process of binding the data and the related functionality
into a single unit.
Now together into a single unit and hiding the data from direct access
outside of
or
the
accessing
class.
directly anything. Hiding the data from direct access from outside of the
Class.
class. Outside of the class. That is called, yeah, this is called encapsulation. Then tell me, how do we implement encapsulation? First of all, we should create a class. Am I right or not?
Yes.
Encapsulation can be implemented by creating a class with
Private.
private variables and public setter and getter methods. You will understand. You will understand all the setter getter methods, how to create, and all. I will tell you next. This is called what?
Encapsulation.
Encapsulation. Okay. This is called encapsulation. Okay. Right. This is the word called encapsulation. So we got abstraction. So word encapsulation. What's the next one? Inheritance. So we understand about what is inheritance. We're just only discussing about the definitions now. We'll talk about what is inheritance. So inheritance is a common term that everybody know. Okay. Yeah. So what does it mean? What is the meaning of inheritance? Let us understand. Guys. Just 1 second. Okay. Yeah, guys. Now we'll understand about what is inheritance. See, understand the concept again. Okay. What is the meaning of inheritance? Inheritance, or sometimes we call it as a heredity. Okay. In general terms, what people say, okay, for example, whatever the properties, it could be a money or a land, whatever is there with your parent. Obviously, that is got inherited to you also. Okay, you are saying that what this property I got through inheritance. Okay, from grandfather or forefathers. Okay, so they have some land, for example. Okay, and that property got inherited to you. Am I right? For example, if there is a dispute on that, on courts or somewhere, that you are going to submit that, see, this is the land inherited from my forefathers, my grandfather or his grandfather, something like that. Okay, so inheritance is nothing but what here? Acquiring some properties from existing ones. Okay. For example, if you are acquiring some property from existing one, right, then you no need of spending some money again to purchase the same property or same land. Am I right or not? So similar to the concept in OOPS is what? Inheritance is a process of creating new classes from existing classes. Did you get my point? Inheritance is a way of creating new classes from existing classes. Those new classes are called child classes and existing classes are called parent classes. So guys, what is inheritance? Guys, did you get inheritance in the people, online people? Did you get what is inheritance in online people?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So what is inheritance? Inheritance is a process of creating new classes from existing classes. If you create a new class from existing class, then whatever the properties, okay, and whatever the functionalities are there in that existing class, they are also inherited to your class now.
Yes.
Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Am I clear with this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes. For example, okay, for example, I'll tell you. See, guys, for example, I have a class called payment. Just there is a class called payment. Then I'm just creating a class called card payment. What I'm doing now? I am creating this card payment class from payment class. Who is a new class I'm creating? Card payment. Card payment is a new class which is created from existing class called what? Payment.
Payment.
Obviously, whatever the properties are there in payment class and whatever the functionalities are there in payment class, they are all inherited to what?
Card payment. Card payment.
Card payment class also.
Yes.
Did you get my point? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Tell me now, by creating a card payment class from the payment class, existing class called payment, by creating a new class card payment from existing class called payment, I am getting some code reusability. Where is the code?
Yes.
Payment.
In payment.
That payment code is also now available to whom?
Card payment.
Card payment. Means I am getting reusability of the same code. Am I right or not? If
Yes.
again I am writing the same code in card payment, two places I have the same code. This is called redundancy. This is called what? Redundancy. Redundancy means duplication of the code. Duplication of the code is called code redundancy. Did you get my point? Instead of
Yes.
again writing the same code, I am getting the code from payment. Did you get my point? Plus, I will add whatever the new code I want. But again, I'm not writing the same code which is available in payment class already. This is called what?
Inheritance.
So what is inheritance now? Creating new classes from existing classes.
Existing class.
Okay. What is the advantage of creating new classes from existing classes?
Code duplication is not
Reusability.
done.
We got code
Reusability.
reusability. We can reduce redundancy. Redundancy means what? Duplicate code. Okay, that we can reduce. Did you get my point clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Suppose we have a class called employee. Understand? We have a class called part-time employee. Guys, we have a class called employee and we have a class called part-time employee. Tell me now, part-time employee class, I'm creating new class called part-time employee. This new class I'm creating from existing class called what? Employee. Then tell me, if I create a part-time employee class from employee class, then tell me whatever properties and functionalities are there in employee class are inherited to part-time employee also. Part-time employee also. So I have to again write the properties, again write the functionalities, or no need of writing them? No need of writing them. We are getting them from existing class. Who is existing class? Employee. Which is nothing but I am reducing the duplicate code. I am getting reusability of the same code. Did you get my point? This is called what? Inheritance. Guys, did you get my point clearly?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, exactly. So what is inheritance, guys? Could you tell me what is inheritance now? We will write the point. Inheritance. Inheritance is a process of creating new classes from
Existing class.
existing classes. Is a process of creating new classes from existing
Existing
classes.
class.
Okay. Or the next point. Okay. When a new class is created from an existing class, the properties and the behavior means functionalities. Functionality, behavior are interchanging. We can interchange the words. The properties and the behavior of an existing class will be inherited to the new class. So that we can achieve, so that what we can do, we can achieve code reusability. Code reusability. And we can remove code redundancy. Guys, did you get my point? We can remove code redundancy. Redundancy means duplication. Okay, for example, if we create a part-time employee class, if we create a part-time employee class, by inheriting from employee class, okay, na? If we create a part-time employee class by inheriting from employee class, then we will get the properties and behavior of employee or we will get or we will inherit whatever may be. We will get the properties and behavior of employee into part-time employee also. Okay, this is an example for inheritance. Okay, later we'll see types of inheritance. There are different things are there. Today we are only discussing about what is the just definition only. So far we have discussed about what and what, guys. What is abstraction? Sorry, what is encapsulation? Next, guys, what is? Okay, guys, what is inheritance? So next we'll discuss about
Polymorphism.
what is polymorphism. Okay. Yeah. I will explain about what does it mean. What is polymorphism? Yeah. Guys, actually, polymorphism. Okay. Polymorphism. Okay. Try to understand. I'll give you an example to get it. Actually, polymorphism is a combination of two Greek words. Now, poly and morphos are the two Greek words actually. Poly is represents many. Morphos means represents forms. Okay. I repeat once again. Poly represents many. Morphos represents forms. So finally, polymorphism means many forms of doing the same thing. Many forms of doing same thing. What is many forms of doing same thing? I'll explain you. Okay, nothing but providing many forms to do some work. I'll explain what does it mean. Okay, please understand now. Guys, we all know substring method in string. Recently we discussed. Do we know substring method? In string class, you know substring. Online folks, do you know substring?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, you know substring. Very good. Yes, you got substring. Tell me, when we are calling substring method, we are passing the begin index.
Yes.
And when we are calling substring method, begin index, comma, end index also.
Yes, sir, we can.
When calling substring method, we can pass only begin index. Or while calling substring method, we can also pass begin index, comma, end index. Did you get this point, online folks? We know this point, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism is many forms. What is the meaning of many forms? Many forms of doing the same action. Many forms of doing the same action. Am I right or not? Could you tell me what the action here? Substring. Substring means getting portion of a given string. Getting portion of a given string is called substring. Tell me once again, guys, what is substring? A portion of a given string is called substring. Suppose I have a string str, but from that string str, I want to get some portion. Then I have to call which method? str dot substring and pass the input. Am I clear with this?
Yes,
tell me now, what is the action here? Substring. Substring means getting some portion. Getting some portion of a string. We have a string, from that I want to get some portion. That is called substring. Tell me, this is action now. There is there are multiple forms of doing the same action. What is the one form of doing the same action? What is the one form of getting some portion of a string? Only by passing begin index. What is the another form of doing the same action? By providing the begin index and end index. Now you tell me, action is one action, but this one action can be done in multiple forms. This one action can be done in multiple forms. Now this is called what? Many forms of doing the same action, or doing the same action in multiple ways, or multiple forms, or many forms. This is called what? Polymorphism. So what is polymorphism? What is polymorphism, online folks? What is polymorphism?
Doing one action in many forms.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, polymorphism allows to do one action in different ways or different forms. Right? This is called polymorphism. Okay, I'll tell you once again. Guys, observe it. Let us take general. This is substring, you know, that's why I took this example. But still, I will take one more example. See, guys, please understand me. I want to open bank account. I want to open the bank account. I want to open. Now, could you guys tell me if I want to open the bank account? If I want to open the bank account, can I use my
User ID
Aadhaar card to
password.
open the bank account? Can I use Aadhaar
No.
card? By
No.
providing my Aadhaar card, can I open the bank account? Online folks, am I clear?
Yeah.
Can I open the bank account by passing my voter ID?
No.
Can I provide bank account? Okay. By providing my voter ID? Yes.
No.
With voter ID also we can open. Okay. Understand clearly, guys. Everybody. Okay. Can I open the bank account through my PAN card?
Yes.
Yes. See, what the action here? Opening a bank account is one action. This one action can be done in multiple ways, multiple forms of
Yes.
doing the same action. What are
Yes.
multiple forms here?
Aadhaar card, PAN
By
card.
providing Aadhaar card to the bank. Second option, by providing voter ID card to the bank. Third, by providing PAN card to the bank. Am I right or not? One action can be done in
Many
multiple
forms.
ways. Means there are multiple ways of doing the same action, single action or same action. This is called so polymorphism. Polymorphism is a feature which allows to perform a single action in different ways or multiple ways or multiple forms. Did you get my point? This is called polymorphism. Is everybody did you understood my example, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Programmatically we'll discuss later, but just understand about the features. Okay. Then tell me, every programming language has to provide a way to implement these principles. Then only we call it as what?
Oops.
Object-oriented programming language.
Programming. Yes.
Yes. Tell me, Java is object-oriented programming language?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Python, .NET, C#, .NET, these are all what? Object-oriented programming languages only. These are all called object-oriented programming languages.
Yes.
Am I clear with this, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, very good. So tell me, Java should provide a way to implement abstraction. Java
Yes.
should provide a way to implement encapsulation. Should provide a
Yes.
way to implement what? Inheritance, and also should provide a way to
Inheritance,
implement the polymorphism. Then
polymorphism.
only we call Java as a object-oriented programming
programming.
language. Okay. Then how Java is providing a way to implement polymorphism? By using a concept called method overloading.
Method overriding.
Method overloading and method overriding. Did you get my point? Everybody is getting this point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Then tell me how Java is providing a way to implement polymorphism
Method overloading and method
through a
overriding.
concept called method overloading is a mechanism. Another mechanism, method overriding. So Java is providing how many mechanisms to implement polymorphism? Two mechanisms. What are the two? Method overloading mechanism.
Method overriding.
Method overriding mechanism. Am I clear with these points for so far?
Yes.
Later
Yes,
understand
sir.
more in detail. But as of now, did you got the concept of what is polymorphism? Yes. Let's write the points here, guys. Yes. Let's write the points here. First of all, could you tell me, guys, what is polymorphism? Is a combination of how many words? Two
Poly
words.
and
Yes, guys. Let me write. Polymorphism is a combination of two Greek words. Called poly and morphos. Poly and what? Morphos. Okay, na? Polymorphism is a combination of two Greek words called poly and morphos. Poly means what? Poly means many, and morphos means forms. Morphos means forms. It's not morphism, morphos. Morphos means forms. Okay? Okay. Tell me now finally what is polymorphism? Polymorphism is a way to perform same action in different ways. Polymorphism is a way to perform same action in different ways. Different ways or different forms. Is a way to perform same action in different ways or forms. Okay, right. So I'm writing one point here. Presently, you just read the point, but later understand it. Polymorphism allows an object to exhibit uh, allows an object to exhibit multiple behaviors to perform a single action. For example, I'm writing for example. For example, uh, opening a bank account is an action, and it could be done in multiple ways. It could be done in multiple forms like with Aadhaar card, or with voter ID or voter ID card, or with PAN card. Okay, I'm taking only these many PAN card. Okay, so one action could be done in different ways. Means what? There are different ways provided to perform the single action. This is called polymorphism. Then tell me, to implement polymorphism, what and what mechanisms are used? Yes, polymorphism can be implemented through method overloading and method overriding mechanisms. Polymorphism can be implemented through method overloading and method overriding mechanisms. uh, am I clear with you so far, guys? Online folks, did you get all these points like what is abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good, cool. Let's go ahead and discuss. Now, these are the principles. These four principles combinedly together called as object-oriented programming principles. And if a language provides a way to implement these principles, then that language can be called as object-oriented programming language. Can we implement polymorphism in Java? Yes. Okay, through which and through what mechanisms we can implement it? Method overloading and Method overriding mechanisms.
Overriding.
Okay, right, very good. Can we implement inheritance? Yes,
Yes.
we can implement. There is a keyword in Java called extends. There's a keyword in Java called extends. With the help of the extends keyword, we can implement inheritance. Can we implement encapsulation?
Yes.
Yes, we have access modifiers like private, protected, public. With the help of them, we can able to do that. Okay. Okay. Can we implement abstraction in Java?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we can implement abstraction in Java. Did you get my point, guys? We have a concept called abstract classes, interfaces. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So tell me finally, we can implement abstraction, we can implement encapsulation, we can implement inheritance, and we can implement what? Polymorphism in Java. Then tell me Java is called
Object-oriented
object-oriented programming, object-oriented programming language. Am I clear with this, guys? Did you understood
Yes.
about this point, everyone, clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. We will understand, guys, we will understand about a concept called as, class and object. Now we have to start with the concept of classes and object, because if I want to implement abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance, and polymorphism, all these features, all these principles, better features or principles, all these principles, if I want to implement, basically what I should know is, I should know about a class and object. If I know the class and if I know the object, then later we'll see how to implement these principles. Did you get my point?
Yes,
That's
sir.
why, tell me, to learn object-oriented programming, now programming I'm talking about, not principles. To learn object-oriented programming, what are the two basic concepts that everybody has to know? Class and object. So what is our topic next? What we are going to discuss now? Class and object. So first we'll understand about what is class. Then discuss about what is object. Folks, we are discussing about a point called as class and object. Nothing but classes and objects. Okay, anyhow. I'll explain. Please try to understand me now. So to understand the class, first of all, I want to tell you something, guys. Class is a word taken from another word. That is called classification. We have an English word called classification. Actually, class is a word taken from this word. Which word? Classification. Everybody is getting this point? Could you tell me what
Yes.
is classification?
Dividing.
What do you mean by classification?
Organization.
Okay. Any other way? What do you mean by classification? Yes, guys. No. Just I'm talking about generally what is classification. I'm just talking about general word classification. Anybody, could you tell me what is a general word called classification?
Arrangement.
Classification means
Categories.
we can say,
Category.
very good. We can say classification means categorization.
Distribution.
Categorization. Distribution is again another word, I think so. But
Okay.
categorization. Okay. You know, If you take employees, government employees also. Okay. There is a classification in government employees, right? For example, if you take all IAS, IPS officers comes under group 1. They all comes under administration. They comes under group 1. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. And for example, if you take like MROs or RDOs or RIs, for example, they are comes under another classification called group 2. Group 1 employees, class 1 employees, class 2 employees, like that. Do you know about this word? Class 1 employees, class 2 employees, class 3 employees, and
Yes.
class 4 employees. Employees are divided into 4 classes. 4 classes na means already we know the word called class. That's what I'm talking about. It is called classification. Okay. So
Yes.
class is a word taken from classification. Now we have to understand about what is class. That is our intention. Okay. Yes. Observe here. Definition wise, what I can say is, okay. Try to understand now. A class, try to understand. A class is a classification for a group of objects with similar attributes and similar behavior. I'll tell once again. Please try to get the concept now. How can you define the class? A class is a classification for a group of objects with a similar attributes and similar behavior. Please understand me now. I will take from general concept, we'll enter into programmatical concept. I have a question to all of you guys. Can I classify human beings and birds together as one class?
No.
Can I classify human beings and birds
No.
together as one class?
No.
No. Why?
Because bird is an amphibian.
Bird is animal, human being is also animal, right? We are also animals only.
The teachers.
Did you get my point? Can we
So
classify
humans-
like that? Can we classify that?
Yeah,
We
humans
classify
do
that
different
human
types.
beings, I mean persons, okay, persons and birds together as one class or
No.
one category?
No.
No, they are two
No.
different categories now,
Yes.
because persons can talk, but birds cannot.
Cannot.
Birds can fly. Human or persons cannot fly. Guys, are you getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Tell me now, in this case, what should I do? I should classify persons as one separate class, birds as another separate class. Did you get my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then tell me, try to understand me now. Then tell me, please understand me now. Okay, understand. You take person. Every person is going to have the common attributes and common behavior. Each person has a name, each person has Aadhaar card, for example, in India. Am I right? He has age, he has a gender, whether he's a male or a female. Did you get my point? Yes. He can walk,
Yes,
he
sir.
can run, he can sleep, he can eat. This is common behavior. Did you get my point now? Yes. Right.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, every person who exists in the real world, every person who exists in the real world is called an object. Every person exists in the real world is an object. Understand the point here. Every person in the real world exists is an object. Everything is an object. We call every entity in the real world is an object. I mean, entity is a big word. Okay, let us say, in simple word I'm talking, everything in the real world is an object. Means every person whom we are seeing on the earth, we call him as one object. Right? Tell me, all these objects are having what? Common, similar attributes and similar behavior.
Yes.
Did you get my point? So what we do now? We will classify all these persons, means all these objects, as one category. That one category is called one class. One category is called what? One class. These all persons as what? One group of objects. Now these group of objects are having similar attributes and similar behavior. Did you get my point? Similar attributes and similar behavior. Okay. We group all these objects, we will classify, which are containing similar attributes and similar behavior, into one class. So first what we create is a class, and for that class we create a group of objects. Okay, first we create a class. For that class we create a group of objects. So what this class acts like now? This class acts like a blueprint. It's a acting like a blueprint for group of objects. See, what is a blueprint for person? All the people are persons only, na? I told everything in the real world is an object now. All these persons are what? You and me. We are objects. Okay, we are objects. Who is acting as a blueprint? Class. What that blueprint contains? Every person has a name. Every person has an ID number or Aadhaar card, age, gender. He can walk, he can eat, he can sleep. Am I right or not? This is called what one? Blueprint. It is a blueprint for all this group of objects. Okay. Now tell me what the class here? Person. Okay. What about this John? What about this Miller, Allen, Shaker, you and somebody? These are all what? Objects. Objects. Objects of which class? Person. Similarly, bird is a one category, one class. Okay. And you add whatever names, you know, peacock or somebody. What are all these? Objects. Objects. For all these objects, who is a blueprint?
Class.
Class bird. Who is a blueprint for all these persons? John, Miller and Allen?
Class.
Person. Class person. So tell me, what is class now?
Class is a
Class
blueprint
is
of-
a blueprint or a
of
template.
objects.
Class is a blueprint or a one template. Is a template with similar attributes and similar behavior for a group of objects. Okay. So what is class now? Class is a blueprint or a template. Is a template with attributes and behavior common to group of objects. Group of objects. Suppose I'm creating a class called employee. What does it mean? Employee 1, 2, 3, 4 in a company, 1000 employees are there. I'm creating a class called what? Employee. Every employee in the company will have common attributes and common behavior. Every employee will get the salary. Every employee will, from every employee's salary, okay, income tax is deducted. Everybody is getting this point, right? So tell me, employee is what? A class. It is a blueprint, a template. Okay. And what is this 1000 employees in the company? These are all 1000 objects. These are 1000 objects. This employee is a class. This is a blueprint or a template for a group of objects. Did you get my point? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So how do we create a class? When we find, okay, a group of objects with the same attributes and same behavior, then we create a template for that. We create a template for that attributes and behavior. That template is called class. And for that class, we create group of objects. So this is the correct way of understanding. Don't by heart the definitions. Understand, okay? Don't by heart the definition. So class is a word came from classification.
Yes, sir.
Classification. Employees are one classification. Employees are one classification. Customers are another classification. Okay, if you take a bank, okay, bank, tell me there are employees working in the bank. Also, there are customers who took account from the bank and who is depositing their money, taking the loans, withdrawing and all these things. Could you tell me now, customers is one category, employees is another category. Of course, both are human beings only, but they are one category. Their attributes and their behavior different, and customers' attribute and behavior different. Did you get my point or no? Now tell me, all these
Yes, sir.
customers belongs to which category? Customer category. All these employees belongs to employee
Employee
category.
category.
Now you tell me, bank has what and what? Employees and customers.
Customers.
Yeah, employees is one classification, customers is another classification. Customers is another classification. Now tell me, how many classes are here? 2 classes, 2 blueprints. 2 blueprints in the bank. One blueprint is employee class. Another blueprint or template is customer. Am I good with this? I mean,
Yes, sir.
am I reached to you? Online folks, am I reached to you?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Could you tell me
Yes.
definitions wise what is class? General definition wise, what is a class? A class is a template or a blueprint for a group of objects with similar attributes and similar behavior. That is called class.
Class.
Definition, at the last I am going to that point only. Or I can have one example, right? Employees, customers, like that. But this explanation you have to understand. Did you get my point? Everybody is getting
Yes.
this point. What is class? Did you get this point? Yes. How
Yes,
to
sir.
create a class and all, that is syntax. That is okay, right? You know, what is the meaning of blueprint? Generally, before you are constructing a house, first one picture will be drawn.
Yes.
Architect will draw one picture. That house is going to look like this, these many floors. Here corridor will come. Okay, here you can just park your vehicles. This is a parking area. Here is a swimming pool will come, like that. First one blueprint is given. Am I clear? Suppose you are just constructing villas. You are a real estate company. Okay, first what architect will do? Okay, your intention is what you are telling, that I want to build houses like this, villas like this. Then what architect will do? Will first create one blueprint, and
Yes.
based on that blueprint only all these villas are constructed. Okay. Now that blueprint is called what? Template. It's a template. What are all these villas? Objects. These are group of villas, group of objects. For all these group of objects, it is working like a template. This template is called what? Class. Did you get my point, guys? I'm trying to
Yes,
focus
sir.
on giving some explanation. I will write the points. If I give this much explanation, when I start writing the points, more than 2 to 3 points I can't write. It is totally understanding, imagination. Are you getting my point? What is class? Did you understood now? Definition wise, what is
Yes.
class? A class is a template
Or a
or a
blueprint.
blueprint for a group of objects with similar
With similar
attributes and
behavior-
similar behavior.
behavior.
Behavior. That is one class. Definitions wise. Did you get my point, folks?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll stop here anyhow. I'll write the points here. Tomorrow I'll write the points. You know the points. Tomorrow I will write. First I will write the points tomorrow. Then we'll see syntax. Once you know what is class, what is object, what to know next, how to write a class, how to create object. Okay, inside the class, how to write variables, how to write methods, and all programmatical concept will start. So programmatically, after writing the definition for class and object, we will start with coding. Coding in the sense, syntax, creating a class, creating object, creating multiple objects, calling the methods and all. Okay, so that's it for today, folks.